Hey, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to the Play by Play broadcast, starring myself, Damon, and I got my co-host Costa here with me, man. How you doing today?
Yes, sir. I'm doing fine. I'm just tuning into the NFL playoffs right now, and yeah, it should be. It's surprisingly a blowout in the first game, and let's see what's gonna happen in this game right now. So yeah, I'm just enjoying football right now, and yeah, all sports. So let's get to the discussion.
That's great, man. I'm watching the games as well. Just a little bit about us, sports fanatics,
Yes, sir.
football, basketball, baseball, whatever you want, you name it. I pretty much watch it. I mean,
Yep.
grew up watching everything on Sports Center, everything. Pardon the interruption, First Take, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. Big boxing fan. Shout out Javante Tank Davis.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Everything,
sir.
man. Everything. Let's talk a little bit about yourself. What sports are you into?
Yeah. So for me, you can say that I'm into the big four sports, right? So let's say basketball,
Right.
football, soccer, and baseball, I guess. Yeah. So
Okay.
just the big four sports. Boxing, yes, I've gotten into it, and I'm actually a big UFC fan as well. So I'm excited to talk about whatever's happening in UFC right now. And in 2 weeks, speaking of that, in a few weeks, I think there's a UFC pay per view live here in Toronto. So I'm excited about that.
That's good, man. So let's take it into these playoffs.
Yes, sir.
The Texans, they look great today. They pulled off a big victory, 45-14. It was real surprising. I think it was surprising to everybody. I was expecting that Texans and Browns game to be one of the best games of the weekend. I thought both teams were playing with house money.
Yeah.
And I didn't really expect that. I thought the Browns coming in with a top rated defense that they had. Joe Flacco was hot. I thought
Yep.
Joe Flacco would be able to rewind the clock a little bit. Maybe we'll get to see January Joe. So it's a little disappointment. Those back to back pick sixes by him. It reminded me of those Ravens days. I'm a huge Ravens fan. So just to see Joe Flacco kind of, relive some of his bad times in Baltimore made me think like, whoo, like almost glad that we got rid of him, but it was a sad sight to see just because, Joe Flacco do hold a special place in my heart. He did bring us a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He had a great run, still had one of the best playoff runs in NFL history. So, you
Yes,
got to
sir.
respect it, respect what he's done for the franchise, respect him coming out as a mid tier Division One player. Right, he came out the University of Delaware, sort of like
Yes.
Carson Wentz, right, one of those D
Yeah.
one AA guys. And just to see, both of them be top 10 picks and both of them produce, it's a sight to see, and I'm excited for football. So let's get into it. Let's talk about first thing I really want to talk about is CJ Stroud. How did you like
my,
CJ Stroud today?
hey man, my boy is a star, man. My boy is a star. He's a lot of teams are gonna regret not picking him. Like he's a star, man. That's all I can say. He's a star. A lot of teams that missed out on him are gonna live to regret this, man. They're gonna live to regret it, man.
I mean, he was
Like,
the second overall pick, so
yeah, I
29,
mean,
29,
yeah,
30 other 30 other teams, 30 other teams, 31 to be exact, since there's 32
yeah,
teams. 31
yeah,
teams are gonna miss out on him anyway. I really
yeah,
feel bad for the Carolina Panthers, man. They had a chance to get him. He was sitting right
yes,
there. They gave up so much. They went and got an undersized quarterback, a small guy. Now, I still think
right.
Bryce Young is going to be good, but do I think he has superstar potential like CJ Stroud? I'm not quite sold on it yet, but I do think that the Panthers have a terrible roster, terrible line. They have no receivers that can get open. They can't run the ball. They can't really do anything. And as a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, to get thrown into the fire like that, it's a tough spot to be. And I kind of feel bad for him. But shout out
Yeah, he
CJ
looked.
Stroud, man. Shout out CJ Stroud.
Yeah, Bryce looks. Speaking of Bryce, he looks a little bit scared on the field. I don't know if it is, but he looks a little bit intimidated on
I,
the field right there.
I agree. I think it's uncertainty in his O line,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's a psych issue, right? So that could be
yeah,
a psyche thing, and you get a little nervous. Every time you snap in the football and you got to defend in your faces, it's tough for you. So
yeah,
hopefully the Carolina Panthers are able to figure that out. I would like for them to trade J.C. Horn personally. I think they could get a couple
yeah.
picks for him, a first, maybe a third or fourth, or one of those types of deals made to hopefully get them back in the first round because they don't have a first round pick this year, right? They gave it to Chicago. Chicago's on the 3rd
Yes.
spot. We'll talk
Yeah.
about them a little bit. We'll talk about them a little bit, of course, but
Yeah.
hopefully they trade back into this first round and they able to get some talent, man. It's a lot of good offensive linemen this year, specifically offensive tackles. It's a lot of good left tackles coming out this year. So they have a chance to get a cornerstone guy to kind of help Bryce, and hopefully they find a receiver. It's a plethora of receivers as well. So hopefully they get a lineman, get a receiver, and we can start seeing the brighter days in Carolina. But until then, CJ Stroud is a star, and I'm proud of him, and I like that Texans defense. The Texans defense look great. The Browns have nothing to hang their hats on. They had a great season. They're the first team to have a quarterback missing, a left tackle missing, their starting running back missing, starting right tackle missing, and still make the playoffs. Like, that's a hell of a feat, and that's nothing to be ashamed about.
That was great. They did like you said, they were playing with house money, so they did great for what they had, right? With what they had, right? So it was good. It was great. I was surprised, actually. I was in the same boat as you in saying that I thought the Browns were going to win today, but of course I was wrong. And I'm excited for Houston. I think I don't know if they're going to win against the Ravens, but they're going to give them a challenge because that defense is up there. They're really good. They're really good.
No, the Texans defense is awesome. They're great. And I think that they don't get a lot of credit that they possibly deserve, and I think that could come from just stemming from them being so young. They got a lot of stars on that side. Will Anderson Jr., the defense end, he's great. He's a rookie. They got Petre. I don't know how to say his last name, but that's their safety. He looks good. Their linebackers look good today. They flew to the football. They look great today. D'Amico Ryans is great. He's a great linebacker, right? So he had a great career. He had a great stint in San Francisco. That defense looked awesome under him as well. So it's not really surprising that the Texans look pretty great under him. Like I said, I'm excited for the future over there. They got Tank Dell. Hopefully Tank Dell gets healthy. They get Tank Dell back. Nico Collins. He played like a top 10 receiver this year, right? Surprisingly so.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
Nobody was expecting Nico Collins to look this good this year. I don't even think nobody knew who Nico Collins was.
I didn't know who he was.
Like, yeah. I don't, I had no clue who Nico Collins was. So for him just to come out of the woodwork and have a all-time season for the Texans, like I said, I'm excited for him, man. They got a lot of money. They can upgrade the roster. They can still tool it up some more. The Texans are going to be really good. Next year, they're going to be really good. In 2-3 years, man, they might be in the AFC Championship, man. It wouldn't be surprising.
Yes, sir. I agree with you. Man. I agree with you.
How do you feel about the Chiefs? Let's get into this game that's currently playing right now. Before we talk about that, though, sorry to cut you off. How upset are you that this game is on Peacock?
Bro, I don't even know. Like, this is the first time this has ever happened. So I don't know who makes the decisions for the NFL, but it's a goddamn horrible decision, man. It's a horrible decision.
Why do you feel it's a bad decision?
Bro, all you have to do is put on cable TV so everybody can watch it. Not everyone has Peacock available to them, right? So it really doesn't make sense.
I agree. I think it's a money grab, right? The NFL must be in a partnership.
Hungry for money.
Yeah. The NFL is definitely in a partnership with Peacock, and they gave Peacock their wish. Like, hey, look, we only want this game on Peacock. So then everybody has to. It's a spade is a spade, right? Like, we only want this game on Peacock. That way, everybody has to download Peacock, and everybody has to pay for Peacock, pay for a subscription. So, it's a money grab. It's a money thing. It's a business. I get it. Hey, I respect it, man. Shout out Peacock. But I don't like it. That doesn't mean I like it. Definitely don't like it.
The cock, eh? Shout out to the cock.
Hey, man, let's talk a little bit into it, man. Tua right now, 2 for 4. I don't think he's seeing the field entirely. He already thrown one interception. They don't really have already thrown one interception. I think the Dolphins have a good running game. I don't know why they don't technically try to stick to it, even though Mustard does have 3 attempts for only 7 yards right now, which isn't really good. That's about 2 yards a carry. Maybe they're thinking they can't really run against this Chiefs defense, but the Chiefs are surprising, man. They got the pedigree. They didn't look great all season. So for them to come out this game and look as great as they do, it's not really surprising. But given all the turmoil that they were going through all season, it is surprising to see them play this well this early.
I agree. And I will say it's surprising. It's not really surprising because, like you said, they have the pedigree, but it is surprising given that their receivers have played horribly up until this point, right? So
Right.
it is surprising in a way, but it's not surprising because they already have a pedigree of winning championships, really. So yeah, I expect the Chiefs to win this game, and because I want to keep my rematch of the Eagles and Chiefs Super Bowl alive. So because I need that rematch, man. I need that rematch. For you all that don't know, I'm a huge Eagles fan.
Yes,
and,
sir.
and that's why I was laughing when you said Carson Wentz. Because yeah, that I have a weird relationship with Carson Wentz because I appreciate for everything he did for us leading up to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But then he's not actually one that won it. And then he started playing horrible after that. So I don't know what to say about Carson Wentz, man. It's a 50-50 thing with me here.
Right. Hey, for everybody who's tuned in right now, don't forget to follow us on social media, man, at AGTV Network. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, man. Don't forget to follow myself too on Instagram at Bay Area _ Footwork King. That's Bay Area _ Foot FOOT Work King. You can find me on TikTok under that as well. And Costa, tell them where we can find your social media, man.
Yes, sir. You can find me on Instagram at Costa.Pacnares. It's just my name, my full name with a period in between. So that's Instagram. On Facebook, it's just my regular name, Costa Pacnares. So KOSTAPACHNERIS. And that's like the entire alphabet of my name includes the entire alphabet. So it's pretty hard to find, but we can put it up on our social medias, and you can find both of us on our social medias as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, you guys see the overlay, you see the banner at the bottom. Definitely make sure you guys follow that on Facebook and YouTube at AGT Network. The AGT Network. Sorry, the
AGT Network.
Anyway, let's get into it, man. How do you feel about the rest of the games? Who do you have for the Bills versus Steelers? What do you have for that?
I'm gonna say this outright right now. I don't trust the Bills to win, so I'm just going with the Steelers.
With no TJ Watt?
With no TJ Watt. I don't care. I think they can still win. Yeah.
So no TJ Watt, and you think the Bills still have a chance?
Oh, the Steelers, yeah, I do.
I'm completely opposite of you there. Definitely give me the Bills. I think that's going to be a blowout as well. I don't trust the Steelers. Don't even know who they're going to start at quarterback. They don't know if they want to go back to Kenny Pickett. They don't know if they want to.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that fact.
Yeah, I mean, they've started several quarterbacks this year alone. They don't know if they want to play Mason Rudolph. They don't know if they want to play Kenny Pickett. They don't know who they want to play, honestly. And I mean, I don't think they'll go bad with either guy. I think Kenny Pickett is just a younger Mason Rudolph, right? Like you're going to kind of get some of the same things. Like except, I mean, Kenny may be a little bit more mobile, right? So you may get some maneuverability or some escapability out of Kenny Pickett. I think he is a gamer though. He was a gamer at Pitt as well. Shout out Pitt. Shout out Jordan Addison too. You know, he came out of Pitt. He used to play with Kenny Pickett. A lot of people don't really know that, but you know, shout out Pitt, shout out Addison, shout out Kenny Pickett, man. I'm a big Ravens fan, so you know I got a disgust for the Steelers, but I would love if the Steelers won. Reason being, the Ravens will get that rematch with the Steelers. They beat us twice this year. I'm pretty sure they beat us twice last year. I don't even remember when the last time the Ravens beat the Steelers, which is kind of upsetting, but in terms of success wise, you know, we both two very successful organizations, and I love the history of the grudge match. So hopefully we're able to get that.
Hopefully.
let's move it on. How do you feel about the NFC side? How do you feel about your Eagles? Let's be real, man. Don't
I
don't
know.
don't don't
Yeah,
sugarcoat it.
yeah.
Let's be real.
No. I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. It's just me and you talking here, so I'll be real with you.
Huh?
Here, I'll put it like this. Given the last 6 weeks of performance, I don't have I have zero confidence going into this game against the Bucks, man. I'm just praying to God. I'm just praying to God that we pull out a win somehow. Because I think if we get one win, then it's gonna propel us to get a whole bunch of
To
other wins.
great heights,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
But okay, so look at it like this: the last 6 weeks, the Eagles are 1-5. They
Yeah.
beat the Cowboys. I mean, not the Cowboys, the Giants. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The Giants are terrible, right?
Yeah.
Poorly run franchise lately, but
Yeah.
we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about how Daniel Jones got paid before Lamar Jackson. We'll talk about that on another episode. But they beat the Giants, and then they turned around and lost to the Giants by a lot too. The Giants look great. I don't know. I don't understand why they played so well at the end of the season for the last game, but I think that they had that sour taste that they lost to the Eagles already. And I also think that the Eagles went in there thinking like, oh yeah, we're gonna beat you guys anyway. And they got a rude awakening. So for now, for me, I don't have a lot of faith in Philly. Reason being, they have no AJ Brown. They're going to be dependent on Devontae Smith. I do not think Devontae Smith is a number one wide receiver. I think he's a number two. And I think they're going to struggle a little bit versus that Bucks defense. That Bucks defense is pretty decent. They're not bad. That's a pretty good defense over there. They're playing in Tampa. Philly does not play that well on the road. They do not travel well. It's just a lot of turmoil going on in that locker room. A lot of things are being said. So I know, excuse me, I don't have much faith in Philly. I like Jalen Hurts a lot, but he's a turnover machine, man. He plays for the other team sometimes. You would think, are you a Philly quarterback or you a every other team quarterback? So I don't have a lot of faith in Jalen Hurts right now, even though I do think he's great. Never would put never. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate the comment. How you guys doing? I would never put another guy down. Like I said, I like Jalen Hurts a lot, so hopefully he's able to pick it up. But let's talk about Baker Mayfield a little bit, man. He's had a great season. How you feel about Baker Mayfield?
Oh man, he's been the opposite of the Eagle of how the Eagles are performing. Is the Bucks have been performing great for the last 6 weeks, right? So
Right.
I think Baker Mayfield has kind of had a I would say this like a career resurgence in Tampa, right? Like so, I think
Career resurgence.
I think he's doing well, at least for the last 6 weeks at least. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think he looks good. I'm proud of Baker Mayfield, man. I'm glad he was able to resurrect his career, I should say. I mean, he was a number one overall pick. I mean, he had good seasons in Cleveland, right? He had a great season for the Rams. Wasn't that the LA Rams,
yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, I remember that Rams. Yeah. For the Rams. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great season down there too. So I'm like I said, hey, I'm a Baker fan. I like Oklahoma. I go way back with Oklahoma. I'm talking even before. I'm talking the DeMarco Murray days. Wait, Mark Clayton. I'm an OG fan with the Sooners now. Don't get me wrong. Like big Miami U fan as well. Big Miami U fan. A lot of talent came out of there.
A lot of wrestlers came from there too.
100%. I had a friend of mine. Shout out my boy Andre Davis. Definitely shout out my boy. He was a huge Dub V fan from Pat White, Steve Slayton. Way back Tavon Austin, Noel Devine. Right, like West Virginia had some talent. Geno Smith, Stedman Bailey, they had some talent. Hey, West Virginia has some talent now. Come out of there. Bruce Irvin Jr., right? DM from the Seahawks.
Yes, sir. You know what? I'll tell you this, and this might seem like a bad thing or a joke, but I started paying attention to college football when USC and Vince Young won the championship.
Oh, that was a good time. What a time to be alive.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that was the first official year. I don't know how far back that was. I'm getting old and I forgot the year, but I started watching that college football when USC and Vince Young won the championship.
Scoring update. It is now 7-10. Kansas City Chiefs over the Dolphins.
Nice. Perfect.
Just had a big touchdown by Tyreek Hill, 53 yards, and it was a
Oh,
defensive pass interference while they were at it. Big
oh
play
wow.
time, man. Big play time, making another play. I think a lot of people discredit Tyreek Hill and his ability to run routes because he's so fast. I think a
Yeah.
lot of guys think like, oh, he's just a
He
burner.
just
He just
uses
runs a
speed.
deep
Yeah.
route, right? But he is very, very, very skilled. I think he is a elite route runner. His route running is superior, and I think a lot of the flack and a lot of the negativity, like I said, it just comes from his speed.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of the game, you just got to watch the game, man. Watch how he runs his hitches, and you got to respect the speed. So you can't be upset that he's open for a 5 yard hitch when the guy's playing 10 yards off. Why would I run a
Exactly.
vertical? Like you take what the defense gives you. I coach football, so for me, I'm all about taking what the defense gives you. I'll go 3 to 4 yards each play if I have to.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
Hey, Vince Young did win
Oh, fine.
the
There
national
you go.
championship. He
Oh, fine.
did. He
There you go.
did. He
Yes. Yes.
did.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie,
Yes, sir.
Vince Young was great. I'm upset that he went to the Titans. I don't think he got a fair chance when he got with the Titans. I don't think that team was really fleshed out the way it was supposed to be. So it was very disappointing, and to say the least, with
I
Vince Young
agree.
and his career for the Tennessee Titans. I thought he was going to be one of the greats. So it's still kind of, it's a sore place in my heart. But shout out Vince Young, man. Hopefully he's doing everything that he wanted to do, man. Shout out Vince Young. Shout out Vince Young.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I love Vince Young. And like you, I thought he was going to be a bigger star than he was. Yeah. So
100%.
yeah.
So how do you feel about some of these coaching openings? You got the Titans. You got, well, not the Patriots anymore. They hired Gerard Mayo. I'm glad they did an inside hire,
Yeah,
man. Shout out Gerard Mayo.
that's a good hire. Yeah, that's a good hire.
That's
Gerard
that's a
Mayo is a
that's
good
that's a
hire.
great hire. I'm glad
Yeah.
they did that, man. I love that they hired inside
Same.
another
Same.
African American coach. So I can't hate, man. I'm loving to see it, man. It's great to see.
Exactly.
It's a great thing to see. Shout out Mike Tomlin too. He get a lot of flack. A lot of people say, "Oh, he just barely wins games. He always loses in the first round." We got a lot of coaches out there who don't win any kind of games.
Yeah.
Oh, Vince Young is the special teams assistant right now. Okay, shout out Vince Young, man. He doing well. Shout out Vince Young, man. Shout
Yes.
out. How
Yes, sir.
do you feel about this? Who
The
else that we
coaching
got
opening.
playing on the NFC? This Packers Rams. I think that's going to be the upset right there. I definitely think the Rams have a chance.
Yeah.
Not Packers Rams. Sorry. The Cowboys are playing the Packers. The Lions Rams. My mistake. Lions Rams.
Lions. Yes,
Yeah.
Lions. So Lions Rams. I'll tell you this. I love the Lions for what they've done this year. I love them, but I think I just have a feeling. That the Rams and Puka Nakua, who is another hidden receiver up
I think
until
he was
this.
undrafted too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. So he was basically hidden until this year. So I think the Rams and Puka Nakua will overcome the Lions and Jared Goff.
Steelers Bills game has been moved to Monday night, 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific, because of the snow. I think the Steelers like to run, so I do think the Steelers do have a chance, just because they do like to run the football. That defense is going to come to play. That's still curtain defense. Tradition still lives. It's been alive for 30, 40 years now. So I do think they're going to come to play, but I just think Josh Allen is going to sling the ball all over the field on him. I think he's going to go for about 400 passing yards. The Steelers' passing defense is pretty decent, don't get me wrong, to say the least, but if you're not able to generate any pressure, it's going to be a long game for you. Now, they are missing Gabe Davis, so we're going to see how big of a miss that is. We will see.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm the biggest, I don't have any trust in Josh Allen at all, man. I'm the biggest Bills hater you can tell, man.
I mean, Josh Allen has won games, though. He's won a lot of games. He's won some playoff games, too.
But he's also lost games that you don't expect him to lose, right?
I agree. I mean, he should have been in the Super Bowl the one year where him and Patrick Mahomes were in a shootout, and he lost that game on the field goal. Remember, that's when that rule was created. Now you got an extra possession.
Exactly.
That rule was created right after that, right? So,
after that,
you could argue right there and say, hey, Josh Allen and the Bills probably should have been in the Super Bowl that time. That was the AFC Championship game. That was a great game. I think that one was 41-38, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was
But,
a shootout. Yeah, correct,
yeah,
correct.
it was. It
It
was a
was
great
a
game.
shootout.
Shout out Josh Allen, man. Top 5 QB. You got
No,
matter of fact, yeah.
I'm not shouting Josh Allen out at all.
I
I'm not
like
doing
Josh
that.
Allen, man. Hey, I think the Cowboys are gonna blow the Packers out. I don't even think the Packers should show up for that game.
Really?
Nah, I don't think they should show up, man.
I got the Packers winning that. So.
Oh, you just upset City over there. You got all the up except for the Eagles. You think the Eagles are gonna get by, huh?
Yeah. I hope. God that they do. I'm praying to God. But speaking of the Eagles, I disagree with you. I think the Eagles have 2 number ones
Right.
in AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I also think Devontae Smith is a number 1 receiver.
No way. Not even close. I give you like 15 guys better than Devontae, but hey, I'm not even mad. Hey, I respect it. I respect it,
Okay.
man. I respect it. I like your opinion. Don't worry. I value it.
Okay.
I
All
value
right.
it. Who do
Thank you very much.
Oh, how would we rate these quarterbacks in the playoffs? Who are your top guys? Who are the top 3 quarterbacks in the playoffs right now, you think?
Oh man, I would say Lamar is one of them. Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Wow, that's tough.
Got to throw Patrick Mahomes in there.
Yeah, of course, Patrick Mahomes. Yes.
Got to throw Mahomes.
And oh man,
I know you're going Josh Allen, even though you don't like Josh Allen. Who you gonna go? Don't say Stroud.
I was actually gonna say Stroud.
No.
With one
playoff game. So he 1-0 in one try, one attempt.
Yeah.
I like CJ Stroud a lot, man. I was in this.
He's a star, man. He's a star.
He's a star in the making. No, he's a budding star.
Yes.
In my opinion, he's a budding star for surely. I think that he's great. I was in that forum group, that sports talking group that we're in, and I seen a lot of guys talking about, hey, CJ Stroud is top 5 in the NFL, and I'm just like, there's no way he could be top 5 in the NFL. He's played 17 games. Like,
not yet.
You know, we're living in the moment. Don't take away what that Texans defense did. Those 2 pick sixes changed the whole entire complexity of the game.
Exactly.
Even though he was scoring, though, he did have the offense looking great. He did have some big plays. He hit some guys down the field, and that's what I like about CJ Stroud. He does push the ball down the field.
Yes.
But other than that, I can't really complain about that game. My top 3 QBs. Let people 100%. My top 3 QBs in the league right now are not in the league, but in the playoffs. Give me Patrick Mahomes, give me Lamar Jackson, and give me Josh Allen.
Okay. I guess. But we'll see. We'll see how the Bills do. We'll see. Speaking of, you were talking about coaches before, right? So, one thing I will tell you is that I don't like the Raiders, but if they do not hire Antonio Pierce, that would be a mistake. That would genuinely be a mistake if they don't hire him.
I agree, man. Hey, listen. If you listening to this, Mark Davis, you better hire Antonio Pierce, man. He earned that. Don't take that away from that man, even if it's only a 1-year contract. You better hire that man. You hired freaking Josh McDaniels, and you see how that worked out for you, and John Gruden. Yeah. I don't think you could go wrong with giving Pierce a chance now. Come on now. You got to give Coach AP a chance, man. Shout out Coach AP, though. He got that team right. I thought it looked lost for the Raiders at one point, but he got their season back on track. I thought they should have won a couple of games down the stretch that they lost, but I mean, honestly thinking, like, the hole that they dug themselves in is, it was a bad thing. Pierce does have a few interviews lined up, though, so we'll see how he does.
I agree. And one thing, speaking of coaches again, sorry, but one thing I will say is, in terms of the NFC side, the Eagles need to get rid of Brian Johnson. So whoever's idea it was to hire Brian Johnson,
right?
That was a very bad idea. I don't know. Right. I don't know if Jalen Hurts, because they know each other. I don't know if Jalen Hurts had any influence in that, but Man, we need Shane Steichen back ASAP. ASAP, man,
100%.
ASAP.
Not to cut you off, man. We'll be going to commercial break right here. Stay tuned. Everybody get a drink. Put your feet up, relax. Keep watching the game, and drop some comments. Let us know what you guys like about the game. Let us know what else you guys want to hear.
All right. Peace out. And we're back in action. So I'm gonna start the second half of our podcast with basketball talk. So I'm just gonna say this: the Raptors will and they need to get rid of Pascal Siakam, right? So right now, Pascal Siakam is rumored to either be going to Philadelphia 76ers or Indiana Pacers. Now, the Indiana Pacers, in my opinion, have the best package, the best return that the Raptors would get for Pascal Siakam. So I assume that he's going to get traded to the Indiana Pacers. And yeah, so I am thoroughly impressed with how the Raptors have been performing with RJ Barrett, with the additions of RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. I think both of those players have improved the team immensely, and I can't wait to see what else Masai Ujiri has in store in terms of improving this team called the Toronto Raptors. Another thing I will say is OG Anunoby, thank you for all the games you played for the Raptors, and I see you doing great for the New York Knicks, the New York Knicks are a team that I also have a love for because I shouldn't say this, but it's mostly because one of my favorite rappers is a New York Knicks fan. Shout out to Lloyd Banks, by the way. I hope to have you on this podcast or another podcast soon. So stay tuned. Oh, also, stay tuned for some special announcements coming up. I'm going to wait for Dame to get back to make some announcements that are coming as soon as next week, but we'll wait for Dame to get back to announce those. What else is here? I would also say that the NFL, going back to the NFL playoffs, these are going to be some of the most exciting playoffs that we've seen in recent memory. I think, like Dame and I think there are going to be a lot of upsets even in the first wild card round this weekend. So stay tuned for that because I know the history of, for example, the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have a history of flopping when people think they're going to win. So I think the Packers will pull off an upset against the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see if I'm correct about that. I'm interested, and I'm also interested to see how Jordan Love, who's the rookie quarterback of the Green Bay Packers, does in his first official playoff game. Hopefully, he takes some inspiration from what CJ Stroud did today. And I think Dame's back. He's back in the studio. So, yeah.
We're back. Welcome up. What? Sorry to everybody there. I got a 3-year-old, you guys. So if any of my dads know, it can get very
hectic. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best way to put it.
I
heard you talking about Pascal Siakam a little bit. Where are his landing spots?
I think his two His two prominent landing spots are actually the Indiana Pacers and the Philadelphia 76ers, I believe. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
So I think the best, like I was saying, I think the best package for Pascal Siakam comes from the Indiana Pacers.
Mhm.
I think Jarris Walker is rumored to be involved in a trade with us
Uh-huh.
with for Pascal Siakam and also Aaron Naismith.
Mhm.
And there was another. I forgot his name now, but there was another player involved in there. It wasn't. It wasn't. No, it wasn't Obi Toppin. I forgot now. But
Right.
yeah, I think I don't see. Here I'll say this. I don't see what Philadelphia can offer us for Pascal. I don't see them offering a good enough package for Pascal Siakam at all. So
Yeah, I like Pascal Siakam, man. I think he's decent.
I
I don't
don't. I don't.
I
I
don't.
don't.
Why not?
I,
Do you?
I
Is
want.
it because he's not a floor spacer or what?
No. I wanted. I'll tell you this, and I'll explain why. I wanted Pascal Siakam gone like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
so
Jeez.
because yeah. No. I see. Here's my opinion on Pascal Siakam, and I'll explain it clearly. He's a good. He's a good supporting player.
Yeah.
He's not a player. He's not a player. I never was a player that a team should
The
build
team
their
around.
team around.
Okay.
Yeah. So the reason and people discredit me for saying this, and I'm probably gonna say it in the wrong way,
Right.
but it was very obvious to me during the whole 2019 playoff run that
Mhm.
the main reason we won is obviously because of Kawhi Leonard, right?
Mhm.
Because look at this, and this is the reason why I say this. It's because Kawhi had three defenders always keeping an eye on him.
Right.
So the reason why the rest of the team looked good is because they were always wide open because
Hmm.
everybody was concentrating on Kawhi,
Mhm.
right? So
I agree.
that's what I'm saying.
I like Pascal, man. I think he could be a good piece. I definitely do think he's a third, a very good third. So hopefully
Yeah.
he gets somewhere that could work out for him. Really, I'm hoping. So we'll see. Hey, let's play a little game though. I got a
All
list
right.
of wing players here, and tell me if you will take Pascal Siakam or the other.
Okay.
So so Pascal Siakam or Keegan Murray.
Oh man, Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray.
Ooh,
For
I'm not mad
sure.
at that.
For sure.
Definitely.
51 points the other day.
I agree. I agree. Definitely give me Pascal Siakam. No, I definitely want
No,
Pascal
no. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Pascal
Hmm.
Siakam or RJ Barrett.
Hey man, that should be a simple answer. RJ Barrett.
Oh, you going okay? You really
He's
okay?
from my city, bro. He's
Right,
from my city,
right.
Mississauga, 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 Ontario. Yeah,
I
yeah,
got one for you: Pascal
yeah.
Siakam or Kyle Kuzma.
Oh, Pascal Siakam.
Definitely give me Kuz, man. I need Kuz. Pascal Siakam or Michael Porter Jr.
Oh, Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
Pascal Siakam or Scotty Barnes.
Scotty Barnes, definitely Scotty Barnes, man. Definitely Scotty Barnes for sure,
Okay,
for sure. My boy's gonna be a star, man. He's gonna be a star
you
if
think
he
so?
isn't already, man. Yeah, yeah,
Got a couple
for
more for
sure.
you here. Okay, how about this? Pascal Siakam or Andrew Wiggins?
Ooh, and then I forgot about to mention that actually. So, the other team that I forgot was that's in trade rumors with the Raptors and Pascal Siakam is the Warriors.
Hmm.
So the rumored package to return to the Raptors involves Andrew Wiggins
Hmm.
and possibly Kuminga, right?
Hmm.
So that would be another good trade for the Raptors to make. So to answer your question now, I would choose Andrew Wiggins.
Okay, I got three more for you here. Three more.
Okay.
Pascal Siakam or Michael Bridges.
Ooh. Oh wow. Wait. So there's two. Okay. There's two bridges in the league. You're talking about the one from Brooklyn, right?
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, I choose Mikal Bridges. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam or Laurie Markkinen.
Holy crap, that guy's a sharpshooter. Lord
Yes.
Marketing. Lord Marketing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wait.
I need
Last one here. Last
I need
one.
shooting, bro. I need shooting, bro. I
I'm
need
not mad.
shooting.
Last one here. This is gonna be a tough one. Pascal
Yeah.
Siakam or OG Anobi?
Oh wow. Um. Oh wow. Yeah. Uh. I just because okay. I'll say this. Pascal Siakam barely plays defense. OG
Ooh.
Anunoby
Uh-huh.
is like a top 5 player in the league when it comes to defense. So
Hmm.
I would choose OG Anunoby.
Right. Speaking a little bit of the Warriors, man, what do you got to make of their recent struggles? Everyone's available on the trade block except for Steph Curry. I thought they should have got rid of Klay Thompson 2 years ago.
Yes.
I think they held up on him 2 years too long. I think they
Yes.
kept trying to relive those glory days. I didn't think that they were there. I think that they held on to Draymond Green too long. He's a headache. He's a distraction. I'm sorry to
Yeah.
say. I like Draymond
Yeah.
Green a lot though. He tough. He got grit, and he from Detroit. You know, and he gonna let you know that.
Yes,
How do
sir.
you feel about the Warriors in these recent struggles, man? What trade do you see that can help them? I do think that getting rid of Kaminga will hurt them. That'll hurt their youth because they'll bring back some guys older. But I
Yeah.
understand that they want to try to extend Steph's prime, man. It's rare that you have a guy who's top 10 in the NBA ever still playing at the level that Steph Curry plays at. So you have to try to maximize your window for championships because we know championships aren't promised, right? So what type of
Exactly.
trade do you see working for him? Talk to me.
First of all, yeah. First of all, I would like to say that um, Steph Curry is one of the most unbelievable players in the NBA.
100%.
He single handedly changed how the NBA is played today. Single
100%.
handedly.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna say this. I feel extremely bad for what's going on with the Warriors right now,
Uh-huh.
simply because I feel bad for Steph Curry and
Mm.
and what he has to go through right now. So
Mm.
I actually, speaking of the Warriors, I actually think a Pascal Siakam trade for Andrew Wiggins and whoever else may be involved.
Gotta package up Kaminga in that.
Yeah,
If I'm the
yeah,
Raptors, I'm asking for Kaminga because taking on Andrew Wiggins is like it's a bad contract, considerably speaking, as of right now. So
that's
right
true.
now
That's true.
it's negative equity.
Yeah,
So if I'm giving you Pascal Siakam, which will make your team much better, I need a piece back that I feel is valuable. I think if you look at a package like Andrew Wiggins, maybe Kaminga, and then maybe
Moses
Moses
Moody.
Moody. Yeah.
Yeah, Moses Moody.
You know,
Yeah,
like I think that will be great. And maybe like a first round.
yeah,
And I think that deal will get done. I think you can look at something like that. And I
yeah.
think in order to make that deal work, the Warriors will have to be willing to take Gary Trent Jr.
Oh wow. Okay,
Right.
I didn't.
You
I
get what
didn't
I'm
think of it.
saying?
Of
Like,
it.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's where that's something that I would look at because I think money wise that would work. I have to look on my phone here and
yeah.
do it. But I do think money wise that will work.
Yes.
Um, so
That's actually a good trade. That's actually a good trade. Yeah,
yeah, for
I
both
agree.
teams,
I
right?
would do
Like
that.
for both
Yeah, I
teams,
would
like
do that.
we know the Warriors value shooting. We
Yeah,
know the Warriors need some defense. So getting
yeah,
defense from, I mean, Gary Trent Jr. isn't a terrible defender, right? But we
yeah.
all know
No,
he's not like the greatest defender. So
exactly.
I wouldn't
But
be.
he is a good shooter though. He is a good shooter,
He's a great
which
shooter.
is
He's a
yeah,
great shooter. Yeah,
which is
that deal will work because he's making. So Andrew Wiggins is making a little over 26 million a year. Um,
yeah.
Pascal Siakam is making a little bit over 20. He's making about close to 30 mil a year. So Pascal Siakam for Andrew Wiggins almost straight up would work. And then, like I said, you
Oh
got
wow.
Gary Trent. Yeah, you got Gary Trent Jr., who's making about 17 million a year. So Kuminga's contract, 4 year, 24 million. He got 6 million annually.
Yeah,
And then, like I said, if you throw Moses Moody in there, that's another 4 million. So that's about 10 million. So
yeah.
the Warriors, I'm pretty sure they're at that cap limit where that can work. They would probably have to get rid of somebody else, maybe It'll be a filler. Somebody a filler. Maybe that center Jackson that they got. They probably had to throw him in there as well. You know, the money will have to work. So the Warriors will definitely
Yes.
have to come off, and they'll have to come off their first round pick. Like, but that will work. I wouldn't be upset at that. Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam for Wiggins, Moody, Jackson, and maybe somebody else in the first. I think that's a fair deal. I think all teams win in that regard, and you know the Raptors get younger. They continue to chase that movement, but my only issue with that is Kuminga and Scotty Barnes. I don't know how that'll work.
It's like the same thing because us in Toronto, we don't think that Pascal Siakam and Scotty Barnes work together. So it would be the same. It would be the kind of the same issues, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, what do you feel about the Lakers, man? I'm a huge Lakers fan. I don't know what they're going to do. I think I think D'Angelo Russell contract is in negative equity too. He has an $18 million player option for himself next year, right? So he can opt into that, and he's obviously not playing like a guy who's worth $18 million a year. So the Lakers will have to trade him and their first. And I dislike really going into this like where the Lakers have to get rid of their first player because they got a player who's in negative equity, like Russell Westbrook, right? You gave up so much to get him, and then you had to give out a first in order to get rid of him.
Oh, come on, man. Westbrook is my boy, man.
I like Westbrook a lot, but he was terrible for the Lakers. That was a terrible fit. They were trying to put a circle in a square. Terrible fit. It did not work out. It was frustrating. I hated watching the game. Then they were trying to make him a shooter in the corner, and Westbrook cannot shoot at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we can blame LeBron James for.
Oh, you can't blame the greatest player to ever touch a basketball for his shortcomings. He's supposed to be in the gym trying to learn how to shoot. I'm not.
He's shooting well. He's shooting well with the Clippers now. So I think it was just to be honest, I was just drinking about the LeBron James thing, but I think the coach, who's Phoenix's coach right now? I forgot his name. Sorry.
They have a new coach right now. I think it's Frank Vogel. Frank Vogel.
Yeah, Frank Vogel. Yeah, so he was a Lakers coach. He was a Lakers coach.
Won a championship. Shout out 2020.
Oh, come on!
Don't talk about a bubble chip, man. All the NBA players said that was the hardest chip to win. No. Championship.
We'll get into this on a later episode, okay? Because I have
Carl. Welcome to the show, Carl.
I'm sitting in the background producing this show. And you're talking about LeBron James being the best? Hell no!
Hey, before we get into that, man, shout out Carl, man. Shout out our producer, man. Shout out my guy, man. But yes. Hey, listen. He's the greatest player to ever touch a basketball, okay? Ever touch a basketball. LeBron James. Okay?
What?
Greatest ever. Hey, shout out Bronny too. Bronny looked good at USC, man. He got a lot of flack. I mean, he don't really get to touch the ball like that, and they got him coming off the bench, but he did great. Hey, especially after somebody who went through cardiac arrest. Shout out Bronny too, man. Shout him out.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great
for him coming back. But getting back to your original statement there, buddy boy. LeBron ain't the best. Michael Jordan is the greatest because he's the only one to play one particular team in his entire career, and it wasn't even for money.
Shout out Michael Jeffrey Jordan, man. Shout him out. He's definitely top 3. He's not 3 or 1, but you know I'm just saying, man. I'm a LeBron fan, man. He all-time leader in points. He's like top 10 in assists, like top 20 in rebounds, top 25 or something like that in rebounds. He like top 15 in steals. You name it, LeBron James' name is somewhere in there.
A little baby. But how many teams did LeBron James go to?
He got 4 championships too. Hey, he got 4 championships. If you play on LeBron James' team, one thing that you know for sure is gonna happen, you're gonna be open, so you're gonna get a chance to get some buckets. He gonna see you if you cutting. He gonna put you in the right direction. You never heard of LeBron James being a bad teammate ever.
I heard he tried to trade his whole team once, though. But anyway,
I mean, shoot, if you not winning, dudes ain't producing. You know, you got to try to get dudes out of there. I'm just saying, man. Hey, look, Costa, it's like this, right?
Yeah.
If
Yes.
if you're on my basketball team or I'm on your basketball team and I'm not producing, Costa, trade me. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here. And you probably gonna be looking like, man, we gotta trade him this month. Hey, listen, this dude ain't producing. We gotta get him up out of here. I'm gonna leave. And leave. I'm gonna go to that next team and I'm gonna go off though. I'm gonna look like Westbrook. Everybody who left LeBron do great things.
Yes, I agree with you. That is a statement I agree with.
On Michael Jordan.
No, you have Carl going.
But I'm going to give you the stats of Michael Jordan.
Read them to me.
6-time NBA champion. 6-time NBA Finals MVP.
That's
5 times MVP Most Valuable Player.
Oh, wait.
14 NBA All-Star.
Sheesh.
3-time NBA All-Star Game MVP. 10-time All-NBA First Team.
Nice.
1-time All-NBA Second Team, and that was in '85.
Oh, that's funny. When that is his year he
NBA
came in, right?
Defensive Player of the Year in 1988.
Nice.
9 times. Yes, it is. 85 was when he came in.
Yeah.
Where was I? 9-time NBA All-Defensive First Team.
Nice.
NBA Rookie of the Year in 85. NBA All-Rookie First Team 85. 10-time NBA Scoring Championship. The champion.
Nice.
3-time NBA Steals Leader. 2-time NBA Slam Dunk Contest Champion.
Nice.
He is the only player to have his number retired by 2 different teams.
No,
Number 23 retired by the
cause...
Chicago Bulls. Number 23 retired by Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. No. Wizards.
3-time AP Athlete of the Year.
Yes.
He was Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year in 91. 2-time IBM Award. NBA Anniversary Team, the 50th and 75th.
Shout out.
NCAA Champion.
LeBron James ain't go
National
to college.
College Player of the Year in 84.
LeBron had to go straight to the league,
2-time Sporting News National Player of the Year. LeBron James didn't even go to college. Right out of high school, he went in to play.
Hey, he averaged 25 and 5. He was 18 years old. That man was barely 17, 18 years old, giving grown men 25 and 5 on a nightly basis.
Yes, correct.
Come on, man. Hey, look. Hey, LeBron's accomplished, man.
It gets better here for Michael Jordan.
Okay.
It gets better. Okay.
Oh no. Hey, look. Shout out Michael Jordan, man. Shout out Michael Jordan. Shout out Michael Jordan, man. I'm not mad at that. Hey, I love Jordan. I'm a Jordan fan, man. I don't disregard what he did. I like Jordan a lot. You know, I'm a big LeBron fan, man. I think LeBron makes his teammates better. You know, everything's opinionated. I'm not mad at your choice though, Carl. I love your choice. Don't get me wrong. I love your choice, man.
Let me ask you this, okay? So we can do either like overall or in this like generation, right? So I have 2 questions for you, okay?
Okay.
So who would you say is your top 5 like NBA players of all time?
All time. Give me LeBron. Give me Jordan. Give me Kobe. Give me. Wait for it. Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, nice.
Give me Magic. Give me Magic.
Okay.
LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, Magic, Steph. It's my top 5, man.
Okay.
What's your top 5? Talk to me.
So I would go Michael Jordan as number 1.
I'll go into the back again.
Okay. Go ahead. So I would go with Michael Jordan as number 1.
Right.
Kobe as number 2.
Okay.
Probably LeBron as number 3. Yeah. I guess. So I have three top players, but I have 5 from this, if this makes sense, this generation of basketball. Okay.
Okay.
So whoever's playing like recently in the last like 10, 15 or 10, 15 years, I would say. Okay.
Okay.
So I would say this. My personal top 5 is sorry. Michael Jordan. Let's go again. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Then you said LeBron.
LeBron is 3. So then I would go. Kawhi Leonard.
What?
And then I would go. Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, shout out Melo though. Shout out Baltimore, man. I ain't mad at that. Shout out Baltimore, man. Shout out Baltimore. I respect that one right there. I ain't gonna lie. But Kawhi Leonard, you lost me, man. He ain't even played enough games to be a top 5 anything.
Come on, man. He has like 2 championships, or 3, actually 2 with San Antonio and 1 with the Raptors, right? So 3.
I mean, hey, shout out. Don't get me wrong, but I don't. Judging by the numbers, he ain't topping anything. I don't even think he passed Jokic yet. Hey, I like the Joker though. Shout out to Joker. Yeah. The Joker's a beast.
Yeah. Jokic is incredible. Yeah, I can say that.
Where you think Donovan Mitchell gonna land, man? Where you think he going?
I think he wants to go to New York, but I don't see that anymore.
I don't even see that as being a good fit. I don't like Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell personally.
No, I love Jalen Brunson for sure.
I do too.
But and then you're right. I don't see Donovan Mitchell being a fit with Jalen Brunson at all. Yeah, you're right. You're right about
that. Like I said, because they got OG over there now, right? So I like OG. Yeah. I like Jalen Brunson. I like what's they got over there? Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart is over there. I like Josh Hart a lot too. I think he's a baller.
What do you think about Julius Randle?
I like Julius, man. I like Julius. I think that they could possibly move Julius. I think they need a guy like if I'm the Knicks personally, I like the OG move. I mean, you got to keep Randle just because of the production that he gives you. So if you think like, how am I going to flesh this roster out? Because they're still not a championship roster, right? So if you think, how am I going to flesh this Knicks roster out? What else am I missing? I think they're missing another ball handler. They could use another ball handler. I think that would be great. They had to get rid of Quickly. I thought Quickly was great and awesome off their bench. So getting rid of Quickly,
that's my boy right there.
Yeah, you got rid of a ball handler and you never really brought a ball handler back. I think that's next for them. If they could look to trade again, I would personally, and I mean, you can argue that Julius Randle is their other ball handler, but if I am the Knicks, I'm looking to possibly trade Randle because I want a guy who can stretch the floor a little bit more, a little bit better. So I would look into trading Randle, but it's like, what do you package Randle up for, right? What is a trade?
Exactly.
What are you trading him for? Do you trade him for like? Right. Do you trade him for like more of a traditional wing and less of a like power forward kind of guy how he is? Do you trade for more of a traditional wing? Do you look to see like, okay, well, what can I get? Can I get not even really a Brandon Ingram? I wouldn't mind Brandon Ingram over there, but it's like, why would they trade him back to the Pelicans? The Pelicans already let him go. So not really a brand. Yeah, not really a brand, but I just think the Knicks need a little bit more shooting. I think more shooting would benefit them greatly and another ball handler. So if I'm the Knicks, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a little bit more shooting, but I'm definitely looking for another ball handler, another guy who could go get buckets. Because if I'm getting rid of Randle gets buckets. Now, when he shoot, it might look like tour dates, but Randle gets buckets. We all know this.
He does. But again, like you said, I don't see what options. In terms of trading Julius Randle, I don't see what options the Knicks have. Like, who would you trade with? Like, what other team would you trade with that includes Julius Randle, though? That's the hard thing to think about. Because I don't see many options I don't see many options out there.
I agree, man. I agree.
There's not another fit for Julius Randle type player, right?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Julius Randle get buckets, man. He could work in a lot of spots. I just think that just what the Knicks need versus what they have. I think they still have tradable assets, so they just got to figure that one out. But Hey, look, man, I appreciate everybody for coming in. Make sure you follow us on YouTube and Facebook at the AGT Network. That's the AGT Network. Again, thank all you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Costa, for being here. You're great.
You're welcome.
And I look forward to, making this a ritual. I look forward to sitting down with you again. Shout out
Yes,
Kyle,
sir.
man. Shout out our producer. And shout out everybody, man. We'll be back on next Saturday.
And in terms of announcements, we have one important announcement, very important announcement, right?
Uh-huh.
So I know that this was the introduction episode,
Yep.
but there will already be a revamping of this show
100%.
starting next week.
Yes,
This
sir.
show will be called Fans from the Stands.
Fans
All
from the
right.
stands, baby.
We just did this show today in order for us to introduce ourselves to you all, and
Uh-huh.
we'll be on a roll from this week onwards.
Yes, sir.
So thanks everyone for tuning in.
Absolutely. What you got to say, Carl?
Also, too, don't forget, we're going to have a lot of YouTube exclusives with different sports categories right here with the fans from the stadium. Fans from the
Fans from the
stands.
stands. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Yeah. Fans from the Stands.
So you want to stay tuned for that.
Right.
It's from
Yes,
the stands.
sir.
But you want to stay tuned for those because those are going to be some intense YouTube exclusives right here.
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir. We have a lot of surprises for you coming up.
So again,
Go ahead.
exactly. But also, too, guys, don't forget to follow our other podcast, the Main Event Podcast, on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. You can find it all on social medias, especially YouTube. Go to YouTube, / subscribe button, hit the bell icon. It costs you nothing. It's free for us. And when we get 100 subscribers, we get our own custom URL. Tell your friends to follow us
Yes, sir.
on all of our
Yes, sir.
social
Shout
medias.
out. Shout out.
Hopefully we get to a million subscribers very soon. So let's
Right, there we
see
go.
how this works. Yes, sir.
There we go. Again, man, we appreciate you guys. Thank all you guys for coming out.
So if you guys have
We'll see you
nothing
next
left,
Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm out, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks everyone.
catch you guys all on the flip side.